प्रियंका जी का वेलकम करें। यह बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सेशन है क्योंकि इस सेशन में हम भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस की संविधान के प्रति, लोकतंत्र के प्रति जो प्रतिबद्धता है उस पर चर्चा करेंगे। द इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस, फाउंडेड इन 1885, has played a pivotal role in shaping democratic India through its enduring commitment to constitutional values, to secularism and to inclusive governance. चाहे वो आजादी की लड़ाई हो, जब पूरे देश को एकजुट करके कांग्रेस ने अहिंसा और सत्याग्रह के बल पर ब्रिटानिया हुकूमत को इस देश के बाहर खदेड़ा था। हमारे आजादी के महानायक महात्मा गांधी, पंडित नेहरू, सरदार पटेल जैसे लोगों ने समता, समानता, समरसता, धर्मनिरपेक्षता और समाजवाद की नींव पर हमारे लोकतंत्र की बुलंद इमारत को गढ़ा था। पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस, द ड्राफ्टिंग एंड द अडॉप्शन ऑफ आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन was the biggest commitment independent India made to a plural, secular and liberal democracy. In fact, 200 years after the British colonial rule, Pandit Nehru and the Congress government focused on building key democratic institutions like an independent judiciary, parliamentary system and the election commission to ensure free and fair elections in India. इन संस्थाओं का काम लोकतंत्र को संभालना, उसको संवारना और उसको सजोना था। आज उसी लोकतंत्र की धज्जियां उड़ाई जा रही हैं। कांग्रेस सरकारों के क्रांतिकारी निर्णय लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों के प्रति हमारी पार्टी की प्रतिबद्धता का सबसे बड़ा सूचक है। फिर चाहे वो संविधान का पहला संशोधन हो जिससे आरक्षण आया, या पब्लिक सेक्टर की स्थापना हो, या जमींदारी और प्रिवी पर्सेस का अबॉलिशन हो, या पंचायती राज का कानून हो जिसने लोकतंत्र की जड़ें मजबूत करी, या फिर मनरेगा, खाद्य सुरक्षा, सूचना, शिक्षा के अधिकार जैसी क्रांति हो। एंड इट इज विद दिस कमिटमेंट टू अ डेमोक्रेटिक इंडिया दैट आवर लीडर राहुल गांधी जी वॉक्ड फ्रॉम कन्याकुमारी टू कश्मीर। उन्होंने हर जगह नफरत के बाजार में मोहब्बत की दुकान खोलने का वादा किया था और वो खोल कर दिखाई। उन्होंने न्याय के लिए एक मुहिम छेड़ दी। एंड इवन टुडे ही कंटिन्यूज टू बी द अनफ्लिंचिंग वॉइस ऑफ द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया बिकॉज ऑफ आवर पार्टी एंड आवर लीडरशिप्स कमिटमेंट टू डेमोक्रेसी। यही काम मंच पर बैठे हुए हमारे नेता, खासतौर से प्रियंका जी और हमारे अध्यक्ष खरगे जी मुस्तैदी से करते आ रहे हैं। इससे पहले कि मैं पवन जी को वेलकम एड्रेस के लिए बुलाऊं, मैं दो शब्द प्रियंका गांधी जी के लिए जरूर कहना चाहती हूं। वो साहस और सहृदयता का एक ऐसा अनूठा व्यक्तित्व है जो लड़ती जबरदस्त है और उससे भी ज्यादा उन्मुक्तता से हंसती हैं। She speaks for each one of us. She echoes us both in parliament and outside. जब वो पहलगाम के आतंकी हमले में शहीद 25 लोगों का नाम लेने के लिए उठ खड़ी होती हैं, तो वो हर भारतीय की आवाज बन जाती हैं। जब वो लड़की हूं और लड़ सकती हूं का नारा लगाती हैं और उद्घोष करती हैं, तब वो आधी आबादी की ध्वजवाहक बन जाती हैं। आई कांट थैंक हर इनफ दैट राइट फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग एंड फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम शी वॉज द लोन बट द मोस्ट कंसिस्टेंट एंड इफेक्टिव वॉइस अगेंस्ट द क्रुएल्टी बीइंग meted out to innocent little children in Gaza. She's fearless, she's feisty, and she's a fighter. As General Secretary and Lok Sabha MP, her commitment to social justice, inclusive growth and democracy is impeccable. उनके जैसा कोई नहीं है क्योंकि उनके जैसा होना मुश्किल है। उसके लिए निर्भीकता, न्यायप्रियता और संवेदना सब होना चाहिए। मैं मंच पर इस वक्त अपने साथी, अपने कोलीग, मीडिया और पब्लिसिटी के अध्यक्ष श्री पवन खेरा जी को इनवाइट करना चाहती हूं। एज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट आर्टिकुलेट and feisty voices that defends the party's ideology across platforms, it is my honor to invite him for the welcome address.
Thank you, Supriya ji. आजादी से भी ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण मुझे लगता है अगर कुछ था या है तो वो था आजादी का आंदोलन। ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि आजादी के आंदोलन ने एक ऐसे देश को जो राजे रजवाड़ों का देश था, फिर अंग्रेजों का शासन था, उस देश में सवाल पूछने की क्षमता पैदा करने का काम आजादी के आंदोलन ने किया। इसलिए आजादी का आंदोलन आजादी से भी ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण था। और यह काम आसान नहीं था, क्योंकि एक समाज जिसको सैकड़ों सालों से आदत हो गई हो जी हुजूरी करने की, उस समाज में मुद्दों का राजनीतिकरण करना, टू पॉलिटिसाइज अ सोसाइटी विच वॉज फ्यूडल, विच बिलीव्ड इन कल्ट्स, उसमें सवाल पूछने की क्षमता पैदा करना आसान काम न गांधी जी के लिए था, न नेहरू जी के लिए था, न पटेल जी के लिए था, न उन तमाम आजादी के आंदोलनकारियों के लिए था। लेकिन वो किया, और उसका नतीजा यह था कि जब हम आजाद हुए तो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने इस देश को संविधान के रास्ते पर चलने का एक बीड़ा उठाया और आज तक चल रहे हैं। आज जो दौर है उसी क्षमता पर हमला बोलने की साजिश है, सवाल पूछने की क्षमता। तो न सवाल पूछते हुए आपको सिनेमा में कोई सवाल नहीं पूछा जाता, अब वो फाइल, स्टोरी, अलग अलग पिक्चरें आती हैं जो सत्तारूढ़ दल की विचारधारा को आगे बढ़ाने की पिक्चरें होती हैं। न स्टूडियो में सवाल पूछने की कोई गुंजाइश बची है। संसद में सवाल हमारे नेता पूछते हैं, संघर्ष करते हैं, उनको दबाया जाता है। सड़क पर सवाल आपने देखा किसानों के साथ क्या हुआ। तो जो सवाल पूछने की क्षमता जो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने पिछले अपने 140 साल के इतिहास में पैदा की, उस क्षमता पर रोज हमले हो रहे हैं। यह संघर्ष आज कांग्रेस पार्टी फिर से कर रही है कि वो सवाल पूछने की क्षमता फिर से पैदा हो। सवाल से ही राजनीतिक चेतना समाज में आती है। We can only politicize a society by questioning authority, by questioning the regime, by questioning the policies, by questioning the ruler. लेकिन वो नहीं कर पा रहे। और आज ये सफर कांग्रेस पार्टी का जो ये संघर्ष है, मुझे लगता है कि उस सफर से भी ज्यादा कठिन हो गया है, क्योंकि आज जिनका शासन है वो यहां वोट से आते हैं। वोट कैसे पाते हैं वो आज राहुल जी ने आप सबको बड़ा अच्छी तरह बताया, लेकिन आते वोट से हैं। तो अब उस आवाज को हम कैसे वापस प्रखर करें? ये जो आज डॉक्टर अभिषेक सिंघवी ने और उनकी पूरी टीम ने मेहनत से इतना अच्छा इवेंट क्यूरेट किया है, ये उसी सवाल पूछने की क्षमता पैदा करने की दिशा में एक बहुत मजबूत और बहुत प्रभावी कदम है। मेरी नेता बैठी हैं प्रियंका गांधी जी। हाथरस में मैंने इनकी टीवी पे देख रहा था, इनकी आंखें देखी। उन आंखों में एक कन्विक्शन थी, एक शिद्दत थी, एक जुनून था। उसी जुनून से सवाल पूछे जाते हैं, जवाब मिलते हैं अगर उस जुनून से सवाल पूछे जाए। मैं आप सबका शुक्रगुजार हूं कि ऐसा संभव हो सका कि इतने हमारे वरिष्ठ नेता आज सुबह से यहां आए, और मैं पूरे भरोसे के साथ कह सकता हूं कि आज जो सत्ताधारी दल है सुबह से ये जरूर देख रहा होगा कि कौन क्या बोल रहा है, क्योंकि वो डरते हैं, क्योंकि वो जानते हैं कि विज्ञान भवन से सवाल पूछने की क्षमता पैदा हो रही है और ये होके रहेगी। इन्हें जवाब देने पड़ेंगे, नहीं तो जनता जवाब दे देगी। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद पवन जी। I would like to call upon stage to speak next Shri V. Narayan Swami ji, the former Chief Minister of Puducherry, a distinguished political leader of the Indian National Congress. His dedication to public service is exemplary, and his commitment to the Congress ideology and our democracy is second to none.
Honorable Priyanka Gandhi ji, Honorable former Chief Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde ji, Honorable former Chief Minister Bhupinder Hooda ji, Chairman of the Legal Department, Honorable Abhishek Singhvi ji, Honorable former Deputy Chief Minister Karnataka, Shri D.K. Shivakumar ji, Shri my former colleague Pavan Khera ji, Shupya ji, and my friends. I've been hearing from the morning how the Modi government has been victimizing elected governments of other political parties. How the Indian Constitution, day in and day out, throttled by Modi and Amit Shah and his team. In fact, you may not know, I am from the small state of Union Territory of Puducherry. I was the first victim of Modi government's using the Lieutenant Governor, the then Kiran Bedi, against my government, not allowing me to function as the powers vested with the elected Chief Minister. What the Constitution says, the day-to-day administration has to be run by the elected government, Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers' decision is binding on the Lieutenant Governor or the Governor. The Governor or Lieutenant Governor, they have no independent powers. This is what Constitution says. When there is difference of opinion, the file has to be sent by the Governor in the states to the Legislative Council, that is the elected government, the Cabinet, to reconsider. When the Cabinet reconsiders and affirms its decision, the Governor has no other option except to approve it. In the Union Territory, there is a small difference. When there is a difference of opinion between the Council of Ministers and the Lieutenant Governor, the matter has to be referred to the Honorable President of India. When I was for 4 years and 10 months, I was the Chief Minister. Dr. Kiran Bedi, who was the appointed as the Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, she did not approve our cabinet decision. She was rejecting the files which I sent as a Chief Minister for appointing the officers. She was reversing the decision taken by the cabinet. Not only that, important matters she used to refer it to the Home Ministry, to the President of India. As a sitting Chief Minister, myself, my Council of Ministers, we sat in Dharna in front of Raj Bhavan for 7 days for getting the approval of the Lieutenant Governor on the issues relating to the public issues. The welfare measures which we have wanted to implement to the people, whether it is laying of roads, financial approval was not given by her. For the purpose of development work, for educational funds, for health funds, the way in which our government was treated by Modi government and Kiran Bedi, in spite of it, we were able to fight back. We did not surrender to uphold the Constitution. Uphold the Constitution, we went to the street against Modi government and Kiran Bedi. They appointed 3 nominated members of Legislative Assembly, which is in the Union Territories Act, without the consent of the Chief Minister. That is how the Constitution is being crippled. Constitutional provisions are being bypassed. Opposition ruled states are not allowed to function the way they have to function. The elected governments were, whatever decision taken by them have been thrown into winds. The governors were holding the files. The decision taken by the cabinet, the governors are keeping the bills passed by the Legislative Assembly for years together without any accountability. And that is how the Modi government is functioning. You are liars. How the state governments are fighting the battle in the courts for the purpose of upholding the constitution. Our leader Rahulji has taken up the cause of protecting the constitution of India for the purpose of saving the people of the country. Therefore, we have to work together. We have to ensure that whatever the provisions which have been embodied in the constitution by Pandit Nehru government, Dr. Ambedkar, and all the luminaries of this country, protecting the human rights, liberty, equality and fraternity, democratic state, all these things have to be protected. The Congress party and Congress party alone, under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi, will be able to protect the people of this country. Therefore, Madam is bringing a chit. I am concluding. Because today, whatever was in my heart about how I had a sleepless night in fighting with Kiran Bedi, today I am about to expose it towards you. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू वेरी मच नारायण स्वामी जी। और अब मैं मंच पे आमंत्रित करती हूं बोलने के लिए श्री भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा जी को, भारतीय राजनीति में जमीन की मजबूत पकड़ रखने वाले कांग्रेस के वो सशक्त नेता जिनकी सरकार में हरियाणा में विकास के नए आयाम गढ़े गए, सामाजिक न्याय और राजनीति की सूझबूझ रखने के लिए वो विख्यात हैं। आपका स्वागत है।
हुड्डा जी शुरू करें उससे पहले मैं बता दूं कि ये आज अस्वस्थ थे। हुड्डा जी, एक सेकेंड। हुड्डा जी,
अभिषेक सिंघवी जी,
ये आज अस्वस्थ थे, मेरे प्रेशर के कारण आए हैं, तो ये अपनी बात पहले कह के फिर शायद चले जाएंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
friends sitting on dais, and ladies and gentlemen and friends. Today's topic given to me is Constitutional Compass, Indian National Congress enduring commitment to democratic India. This is right. And this is the soul of Constitution. The Constitution of India is splendid and priceless heritage of every citizen of the country. We all know that it has been achieved as the result of long and continuous struggle, sacrifices, suffering of countless freedom fighters, martyrs, and patriots of India under the leadership of Indian National Congress. They suffered, they died, so that the people of India could live in dignity. Our Constitution is supreme in dignity, sacrosanct in fundamental law of the country, which determines the direction of the country's rebuilding and progress through directive principle of state policies. It represents in spirit of modern India and world order which is in favor of democracy, scientific temper, equality and fraternity. It also guides the policy makers of the country so that the dream of our freedom fighters, according to the values of the principle of inclusive governance established and cherished by them, the constitutional of promises and provisions seek to fulfill hopes and aspirations of citizens with their participation and consent. Our Constitution gives us pride of being largest democracy in the world. It has given the proud status of citizen of sovereign India from subjects of British Empire. We may legitimately pride in the historical fact that about 85% members of the Constituent Assembly were members of Indian National Congress, who understood and felt unspeakable laws which freedom fighters, martyrs have undergone during freedom struggle and became acutely aware of the ground realities of the country and aspirations and expectations of a free country. In a sense, the philosophy of our Constitution is the basic ideology of Indian National Congress. This fact has been acknowledged by Dr. Ambedkar, who said, Congress party is therefore entitled to all credit for the smooth sailing of draft constitution in the Assembly. And here I may mention that my father was also member of Constituent Assembly. He is the signatory of Constituent Assembly, and he was great freedom fighter also. So I feel proud of it. For Indian National Congress, I may rightly say that it is not only a political party, it is a movement, a voice of voiceless. I say, so its unflinching commitment to the values of Indian ancient culture, democracy, equality, social justice, fragility and welfare of the downtrodden millions of India. The Constitution of India is an enclosure dynamic document which embodies the soul and seek to translate the spirit of India, idea of India into reality. It has drawn upon extensively on the diversity, vastness, culture, history, sublime values of its ancient civilization, its present realities and bright future. In short, the objection of the resolution moved by Nehruji in the Constituent Assembly, I quote, the national consensus on Constitution, which has been summed up its preamble, I need not to explain more. As you all know, in brief, constitutional laws make through constitutional promises, procedures, provisions, processes, conventions, trading laid a strong foundation of civic or constitutional nationalism based on principle of democracy, secularism, socialism, freedom, fundamental rights, and fraternity. In this view, the sovereign repulsive of all people to be Indian first, Indian last, and nothing else but Indians. So, our constitution was praised by political constitutional experts, statesmen throughout the world. Many countries emulated as its ideal. However, Dr. Ambedkar warned us, the working of a constitution does nor depend wholly upon nature of constitution. The factor on which the working of the organs of the state depend on are the people and the political parties they will set up as their instrument to carry out their wishes and their politics. The word proved to be prophetic. Unfortunately, as we see, neo-patriotism has given rise to the new alternative nationalism based on religion, caste, language, region, and all three emulate issues and identities. As a result, all constitutional values, principles, history, institutions, concepts, presumptions have been undermined and changed. It has potential to change the geography of country. These days, political repression, persecution, economic exploitation, social and economic inequality and disparity, crony capitalism, and unemployment are on the increase. Fear, hatred, authoritarianism, absolution, and religion's infora is being fanned. Social harmony is divided atmosphere in the way. The economic development has retarded and nation is getting weak. Under the prevailing circumstances, being legislature of glorious inheritance, the onus of safeguard and sanctity of the Constitution and unity and integrity of the country falls upon us. And I am very happy and proud to say that Shri Rahul Gandhi ji has taken up this cause very bravely. We can proudly say that in Congress leadership has in past consistently endured to strengthen the safeguard and broaden the base of democracy in India. Provision of universal adult franchise, lowering the age of voting from 21 to 18, anti-defection law, Panchayat Nagar Palika Act, etc. are some important steps in this direction. This shows the Congress party enduring the commitment of democracy in India. We all know democracy is an omnibus idea, rather utopia, and has been defined variously because it has many aspects. The core essence of the idea of India in its democracy and secularism. All other rights, goals, freedom, fraternity, equality, justice, etc. are contingent upon two pillars. We need to understand that Nehruji was the biggest and loudest exponent of these two core values, and that is why he is invariably under attack by the present ruling class. The democracy and secularism is the sole idea of India, which is immortal and indispensable. It must be realized that Nehru cannot die or be demolished in India by any amount of efforts. He will always be present through Indian National Congress to challenge any onslaught on India's democracy and its secular fabric. As this seminar is dedicated to theme of democratic India, I may suggest only two aspects on 2 points, keeping in view the practical reality at grassroots level. First is the integrity of voting. Voting, free and fair election are sovereign right of citizen of India. The foundational process is being vitiated and hijacked through voters list, just like you must have seen in Bihar. Counting of votes, misuse of technology, EVM, money, etc. The people mandate is being purchased or manipulated, and democracy is facing the politics of vote banks. It is time that the strength of Constitution lies entirely in determination of each citizen to defend it. And the other important aspect is promote scientific temper approach in their life. These were the these are served as antidote. This was served as antidote to menace of communism, casteism, or any such emotive issues, and work against politics of vote bank. Such politics repress creative and regenerate forces, hampers the development of healthy democracy. I may also mention that the Constitution of India also enjoys upon all citizens moral obligation, fundamental duties which include develop scientific temper and humility pressures, the composite culture of the country, and to abide by the Constitution. So let us generate a debate over this issue in the society. We may rededicate ourselves to safeguard our legacy of freedom movement and handing over to the coming generation. Indian National Congress is committed to welfare of those people who have not yet been able to get social, economic, cultural and political rights. Thank you very much.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हुडा साहब। एक अनुभवी राजनेता और पूर्व केंद्रीय मंत्री श्री सुशील कुमार शिंदे जी एक पुलिस अधिकारी के रूप में अपने शुरुआती दिनों से लेकर महाराष्ट्र के मुख्यमंत्री और भारत के गृह मंत्री के रूप में उन्होंने इस देश की सेवा की है। दशकों के अनुभव के धनी, कांग्रेस के मूल्यों और सामाजिक न्याय के प्रति उनका समर्पण और निष्ठा हम सबके लिए प्रेरणादायक है। श्री शिंदे जी, मैं आपसे आग्रह करती हूं कि आप अपना वक्तव्य दें।
शिंदे जी का भी विशेष धन्यवाद। इनको बहुत अल्प समय में बहुत अल्प नोटिस में ये आए हैं और मैं बहुत बहुत मन से इनका कृतज्ञ हूँ, क्योंकि इन्होंने बहुत कम समय में ये सब तैयारी की।
धन्यवाद सिंघवी जी। और हमारी नेता आदरणीय प्रियंका जी, अभिषेक सिंघवी जी, डीके शिव कुमार जी, भूपेंद्र हुड्डा जी, अभी नारायण स्वामी तो चले गए हैं, लेकिन उन्होंने यहाँ उनका दर्द बताया उनके जब वो सत्ता पे थे, तो ये आप लोगों के सामने बताया। पवन खेरा जी, सुप्रिया श्रीनेत जी, मैं सिंघवी जी को बहुत धन्यवाद दूंगा कि आज आपने इस लीगल फ्रेटर्निटी को पूरे देश में से बुलाया, और ये बहुत जरूरी भी था कि हमारे देश में एक तरफ मणिपुर हो गया है, एक तरफ पहलगांव हो गया है, और मणिपुर में एक्सटेंशन, गवर्नर्स रूल एक्सटेंशन के बाद एक्सटेंशन हो रही है। पहलगांव में इतना हल्ला होने के बाद उधर कुछ टेररिस्ट पकड़े नहीं गए, और ऐसे इसमें ये सम्मेलन इस देश की जो युवा पीढ़ी के हमारे लीगल फ्रेटर्निटी के लोग हैं, उनको विचार करने के लिए यहां बुलाया है। तो मुझे याद आ रहा था अभी कि एक गीत था, हम बचपन में सिनेमा देखते थे, कवि प्रदीप का था, इस देश को बड़े संभाल के लाए हैं हम तूफान और किश्ती से, और इस देश को संभालना भी आप लोगों को है। इस तरह का प्रदीप का एक गीत था। ये जो कठिन था, अभी तक 11 साल के पहले कांग्रेस की सत्ता थी, कई कठिन समय में से डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह और सोनिया गांधी जी ने सत्ता की डायरेक्शन की। आज हम शेल्टरलेस हो गए हैं, लेकिन शेल्टरलेस हो गए तो भी डरने की कोई बात नहीं है। हमारे को अपने खुद पे पैर पे खड़ा रहना होगा और एक एक कदम चल के हमारे डेमोक्रेसी को प्रोटेक्ट करना होगा। यहां नारायण स्वामी जी ने अपना दुख बताया। एक चीफ मिनिस्टर जिसको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोजीशन है, लेकिन उस पर गवर्नर ने जो अन्याय किया वो यहां बता रहे थे। इस देश में कभी नहीं हुआ था और न होना चाहिए कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोटेक्शन इस देश में नहीं रहेगी तो कल यहां हमारे देश में जो दलित है, आदिवासी है, माइनॉरिटी वाले हैं, कहां चले जाएंगे। एक तरफ एक विचार आएगा तो उसी विचार से देश चलेगा। हमारे को इसके बदलाव करना ही होगा और ये बदलाव करने में हम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट से हम चलना चाहते हैं। हम अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रास्ते पर नहीं चलना चाहते हैं। The Constitution is not self-executing. Its values are hollow without principle sentinels fighting to tooth and nail to uphold the hollow values against the forces. ये साथियों, पंडित जवाहरलाल जी ने कहा था कि ट्रिस्ट विद डेस्टिनी में उन्होंने स्पीच जो दे दिया था, तो उन्होंने कहा था कि एम्बिशन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट मैन ऑफ आवर जनरेशन हैज बीन टू वाइप एवरी टीयर फ्रॉम एवरी आई। जो हमारे फोर फादर्स है, जो उन्होंने स्पेसिफिकली अपने स्पीचेस में कहा था कि ये आंख में से जो पानी निकलता है उसकी हम जब तक फिक्र नहीं करेंगे, विचार नहीं करेंगे, देश हमारा आगे बढ़ नहीं सकता। ये बात उन्होंने उस वक्त कही थी। और आप सब इंटरप्रिटर्स ऑफ लॉ हो, और इस लॉ के इंटरप्रिटर राइट वे करना होगा, गलत नहीं करना होगा। और इसी के लिए श्री सिंघवी जी ने ये प्रयास किया कि पूरे देश में अपने जो छोटे बड़े एडवोकेट्स हैं उनको यहाँ बुलाया और एक बार यहाँ मन की बात हो जाए, चर्चा हो जाए, और उस चर्चा से हमारा देश फिर एक अच्छे रास्ते पे चल जाएगा। इस प्रकार की भावना उन्होंने रखी है। मुझे सिंघवी जी को धन्यवाद देना है कि ऐसे बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जो उनको भी सरकार में तकलीफ हो गई, लेकिन वो डट के रहे और अपनों को सब काम में लगाए, देश बचाने के कार्यक्रम में वो लगाए हैं। इसके लिए उनको धन्यवाद देता हूं। सुबह राहुल गांधी जी ने जो भाष्य किया, हम लोग उनके शब्दों पर चलते हैं, उनके आवाज पर चलते हैं। और हमें सत्ता आज नहीं कल आएगी, उसकी कोई फिक्र नहीं हमें, लेकिन हमारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन सेफगार्ड होना चाहिए। डॉक्टर बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर ने सबके लिए जो ये ज्ञान दिया है, ये अच्छे रास्ते पे चलने का एक रास्ता बताया है, उसको प्रोटेक्ट करना होगा। और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि ये सब हमारी लीगल फ्रैटर्निटी, पूरे देश में की लीगल फ्रैटर्निटी आज उसको प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए तैयार है। सिंघवी जी, मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूं कि आपने अच्छा टॉपिक निकाला। कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि जहां जरूरी है वो टॉपिक नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन आज ऐसे वक्त आपने ये टॉपिक निकाला। देश की इसकी जरूरी है, लोगों को जरूरी है, इसका विचार मंथन होना चाहिए और देश आगे चलना चाहिए। स्वतंत्रता पूर्व में जो हो गया था उसी का ये रास्ता है, और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है यही हम सब लोगों की इच्छा रहेगी तो जल्द ही हमारी सत्ता यहाँ आएगी। इसमें मेरे दिल में कोई अविश्वास नहीं है। मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूँ। मुझे सुबह सुबह बताया मुझे आना होगा, लेकिन ये हम लोग तो कांग्रेस वाले कब भी तैयार रहते हैं, हम डरते नहीं। मैं तो हमेशा कहता हूं कि कौन कांग्रेस ऐसी है, ये सादगी पे चली है महात्मा गांधी के जीवन पर, और कौन न लड़ जाए इस सादगी पर लड़ते हैं, मगर हाथ में तलवार भी नहीं। ये विचारों की तलवार है, विचारों की तलवार आगे बढ़ेंगे। जय हिंद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद शिंदे जी. And before I call upon Dr. Singhvi to deliver the chairman's address in this valedictory session, I will take a departure from some very serious deliberations that have happened. With your kind permission, sir. The social media team is one of your most recurring clients of your department, and so this assumes far more importance. And the second thing that I want to say is, आपने inaugural में कहा था कि श्री मोतीलाल नेहरू जी के IT returns देखने चाहिए. IT returns तो आपके भी बड़े खास हैं, sir. But I welcome you to please deliver the chairman's address for this valedictory session.
प्रियंका जी, शिंदे जी, हुडा जी जो आज अस्वस्थ थे, मेरे कहने पे आए. शिंदे जी बहुत ही अल्प समय के नोटिस में आए, बहुत कृतज्ञ हूँ. नारायण स्वामी जी जिनको फ्लाइट पकड़नी थी, शिव कुमार जी शायद हमारे सबसे युवा उप मुख्यमंत्री, पवन जी, सुप्रिया जी, senior and distinguished colleagues, delegates literally from every corner of India, and above all, the great community of lawyers, human rights activists, RTI activists, all the guardians of India's constitutional soul. Having mixed languages, I will speak more in English because some large contingents from the southern states said that we should address more in English. But as we gather here, friends, today at the closing of this momentous national conclave, we look back on a rich day of interaction, of involvement, of deep thought, and I believe of a lot of fun. But I rise not merely to give concluding thoughts. I rise to rekindle a conviction, to echo the conscience of our republic, and to reaffirm what binds us all, a deep, abiding and unshakable commitment to the idea of India as envisioned in our Constitution. The theme that guides this valedictory, in particular, the constitutional compass, Congress's enduring commitment to democratic India, is not a slogan, nor is it an ideological flourish. It is in truth the anchor of our political being and indeed the moral compass of our national destiny. The Constitution of India, friends, is not a cold legal contract, nor is it merely a governance manual. It is a living, breathing testament to the plural soul of this country, born of a freedom struggle, shaped by civilizational wisdom and nurtured by democratic yearning. The Constitution is both a map and a mirror. It shows us the path and it also shows us who we are. We are its architects. We in the Indian National Congress respect this not merely as a constitution, because we believe that we are its architects, its trustees, and its custodians. Friends, it's important to remind ourselves and to remind the nation that the Congress party was not invited to write the Constitution. It was in fact the party that birthed the Constitution, or rather birthed the conditions necessary for the creation of the Constitution. We did not inherit democracy. We fought for it, we framed it, we fostered it through every difficult phase in the life of this republic. And yet today we stand at the precipice of a dangerous reversal. The threats to our constitutional fabric are no longer abstract. They are not theoretical. They are here, tangible, corrosive, and deliberate. Parliament, once a temple of reasoned debate, is today reduced to a formality. Dissent silenced, scrutiny throttled, and legislation bulldozed. Federalism, we discussed in the last session, once the bedrock of our plural identity, is being hollowed out through central overreach and financial strangulation. Investigative agencies created to uphold the rule of law have now become satta ke sevak, political foot soldiers in the hands of a vengeful regime. And just to digress for 30 seconds, I didn't interrupt in the federalism session, but federalism is a remarkable word. It doesn't find a mention anywhere in our constitution. Our constitution is the longest in the world and doesn't find the word anywhere. You find the word, if you Google the constitution, you'll find the word federal coming many times, but that's about the federal court, the court prior to the Supreme Court, not about federalism. And yet, in a most remarkable turn of fate, something which is not mentioned in the constitution has been held way back in Keshwananda Bharati, way back in Bommai, to be part of the basic structure of the constitution, the heart, soul and spirit of the constitution. The very institutions that were meant to check the executive are now bent into submission. And through all this, a chilling message is sent and tried to be sent to the people of India. Conform or be crushed. We have to be clear कि ये कोई सामान्य शासन नहीं है. ये संविधान की आत्मा पर एक संगठित हमला है. This is not governance in the service of the people. It is power wielded in utter contempt of accountability. Today's ruling establishment quotes the Constitution in public and violates it in practice. They bow before Ambedkar's statutes even as they dilute reservation policies and criminalize protest. They proclaim Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, but foster a culture of exclusion, of erasure, and of entitlement. Let us therefore call this regime what it truly is, a carefully curated theatre of democracy hiding the machinery of authoritarianism. They may have captured headlines, but they have lost history. They fail to understand that India is not a theocracy, not a monarchy, and not indeed a marketing project. Some people believe in India as a marketing project. India is a constitutional republic, governed not by might, but by mandate, not by force, but by fraternity, one of the least understood words of the preamble. One leader, one thought, one voice. It sounds like an echo chamber, not a true republic. In the midst of this darkness, let the light of Congress legacy shine even brighter. We don't claim to be, and we have not been perfect. No movement or institution ever is. But our journey from freedom struggle to framing the Constitution, from shaping institutions to expanding rights, is one of relentless self-correction, but along with principled resilience. We enacted transformative laws from the RTI to Manrega, from RTE to food security. What were these? These were not populist gimmicks. They were actually manifestations and transformations of the preamble's promise: justice, equality, fraternity, liberty, etc. We brought liberalization without losing our liberal soul. We made mistakes, but we never betrayed the democratic contract. हमने सत्ता की सेवा की, लेकिन संविधान की सीमाओं में रहकर. And so, as this plenary session draws to a close, let us remember the struggle before us is not just electoral. It is existential. It is not about changing a government. It is about saving a republic. The choice facing India is stark and clear: a politics of domination versus a politics of dialogue, a governance of fear versus a governance of freedom, an India driven by one man's ambition or an India governed by the collective will of a people. This is not merely a political battle. ये भारत की आत्मा के लिए युद्ध है. In this valedictory moment, I speak not with despair, but with determination. For this party, for the Indian National Congress, has always arisen when India needed it most. We rose in 1947, we rose in 1980, we rose in 2004, and therefore our rising is inevitable. But this time, we will not rise just to defeat a regime. We will rise to revive a republic. We will rise to defend the dignity of every Indian, the rights of every minority, the voice of every protester, and the dream of every young citizen who believes in an India that is inclusive, democratic, and just. To all our very senior colleagues assembled here, as also to each of you distinguished and honored delegates, let us return from this plenary not as veterans of nostalgia, but as vanguards for the future. Let our experience become our energy. Let our legacy become our leverage. Let us reclaim the constitutional soul of India, not by rhetoric alone, but by reason, by readiness, and by resolve. अब समय आ गया है पीछे देखने का नहीं, आगे बढ़ने का. Let every state, every district, every university, every social media page hear this united voice from this stage, that the Congress is not retreating, it is reawakening, that we are not tired, we are trusted, that we are not merely remembering the Constitution, we are reviving its relevance, clause by clause, right by right, value by value. If they wield the power like a truncheon, we will bear the Samvidhan like a torch. In closing, friends, let me invoke the spirit of the freedom struggle, not as a memory, but as a method. As Gandhiji said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Today, let us lose ourselves in the service of the Constitution, for in doing so, we shall discover the real India. Let this plenary be remembered as a turning point. Let it be said that here, in this hall, the Congress did not just resolve to fight, it resolved to lead. It resolved to build an India that is more democratic, more inclusive, more humane, and more constitutional than ever. Thank you very much. Thank you for many, many things. Above all, for being here the whole day with this remarkable patience and involvement. As I leave, I must remind you that lawyers never break their contracts. They don't breach contracts. I made a contract with Priyanka ji. That contract led her to spend 2 hours or more than 2 hours in the morning and come again here. But reciprocally, there is no contract without consideration under Section 25 of the Contract Act. So she put a condition that I'll spend as much time as you like, but don't ask me to speak. So please don't embarrass her, please don't embarrass me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Singhvi. And as this session and the conclave draws to a close, I request D.K. Shivkumar ji to come up on stage to deliver his closing remarks. Our dynamic leader from Karnataka, known for his organizational prowess and unwavering commitment to the party. He plays a pivotal role in strengthening our stronghold in Karnataka, जहां पर हमारी सरकार लोगों के विकास और उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए पूरे समर्पण से काम कर रही है. श्री D.K. शिवकुमार जी.
Hello, please. You all are lawyers. You are not Youth Congress or NSUA boys. You are lawyers, you will become MLAs, MPs, ministers. You should mind yourself, please. No, no, no. We all are waiting for Priyanka Gandhi's speech, not for my speech. Anyway, please. Abhishek Singh Ji has given me an opportunity to conclude this great historic event. Priyanka Gandhi Ji, our General Secretary and the leader of the Congress Party, Abhishek Singhvi Ji, Pawan Kera Ji, Narayan Swamy Ji, and our senior former Chief Minister from Maharashtra, Mr. Shinde Ji, all the friends, Parliament members, legal luminaries, working committee members and office bearers, PCC presidents from the various states, and all my young friends. Congress history is country's history. Congress strength is country's strength. Congress party, Gandhi family has kept the Congress party united. That Congress has kept the country united. Otherwise, our country would have been broken into various pieces. Today I am here to conclude this. I am not a good speaker, I doesn't know Hindi. I was not a graduate when I contested election. When Raju Ji gave me the election, I was just a final year degree student. That our Abhishek is telling that I am a young man. I am already 63. 8 continuous assemblies I have been representing. Almost 37 years I am in the assembly. But one thing, I always remember my basic motto: if you forget the root, you will not get the fruit. I would like to thank Abhishek Singhvi Ji when I was being sent to Tihar jail. Abhishek Singhvi with his team of lawyers, Abhishek Singhvi Ji, Kapil Sibal, and Rothki Ji. All three came, stood on the court. The court could not tell no to their voice, to their strength. They brought me out from Tihar jail. After Sonia Ji came to visit me in Tihar for the first time, I think she had not seen Tihar jail. To save a party worker, she had come. I should salute her from this dais. After I came out, within few months, few days, the Gandhi family, Srimati Sonia Gandhi, sat together and appointed me as the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee President. I did not sleep for a day. I am telling you, with my heart and soul, with all of you. 3 years and hard, we brought a government with breaking a double-engine government. And the history is going on. I don't want to comment. I am standing here as a Congress president still and being a deputy chief minister. Anyway, I thank again Abhishek Singhvi for this great opportunity he has got to all of you. It is not only a political agenda. It is all you have to join together, to work together. I said once again, joining together is the beginning. All of you thinking together is the progress. You all have to work together. Again in 2029, you have to bring back the country back to the shape. Today, Rahul Ji, Mallikarjun Kharge Ji, the message was clear, not to me, to all of you. What is said? Do you remember what is said? Every hospital needs a blood bank. Today, Constitution, under vote bank, and our right is under big danger. You have to protect that. The message was very clear. All the lawyers in this country who believe in democracy, who believe in this constitution, to have a advocate bank, legal bank in every assembly segment,
to save the right of every voter. This is what he is starting his voice on the 5th of August in Karnataka in the Freedom Park. It is my absolute privilege and honor to stand before you to concluding this valedictory address. Perhaps what is more dear to me to discuss on the commitment of the Indian National Congress. As I said, I have closely watched and heard all the distinguished speakers, thoughtful with big lot of great experiences. Though our leaders may not be advocates, but their experienced lawmakers, governors, chief ministers, party cadres, party office bearers, with their own experience, they have given us a lot of things. We have to take it back. We have to deliver it back. Our generations are looking, our youngsters are looking. Why? To save this country and this constitution. Having started as a student leader, as I said you, I have gone through a lot of struggles, grown up, blessings from the party and all of you, wishes. As I entered, you wanted to echo me, give me strength. This is what the leaders look at, but still we have a commitment to all of you to see this country should be proud. Again, with lot of commitment, the Congress party has saved this country. The days will not be long. You all have to look at, have a proper agenda. In 2029, you should see that Rahul Gandhi will be the Prime Minister of this country. This is what your commitment should be. Show me a leader, show me a family which has compromised, which has sacrificed their life, which has sacrificed their power. That day, I think you all might be watching Srimati Sonia Gandhi, Abdul Kalam, the President of India. Two leaders said that she can't become the Prime Minister, we will shave her head. I don't want to tell their name. After she was being invited to the Prime Minister's office from the President, she said, power for me is not important. A Sikh, a minority who is an economist, who can save this country, should be the Prime Minister of this country. Is anyone in this world with such a big democracy a sacrifice for country? Are we sacrificing a small position, a panchayat fellow? Some ministers, some MLAs, we doesn't. We share power. But some of us never agree to share power, even at the panchayat level. That is what the Congress party has contributed to this country. Anyway, today, I don't want to discuss much. Today, we have a lot of aspirations, taking the state and the nation, the constitutional path laid down to the torch on office bearers in the Indian democratic policy. We follow the basic principle of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji, the father of the constitution, Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Maulana Azad, and our Iron Lady, Srimati Indira Gandhi, who took it forward, and now Shri Rahul Gandhi is taking. Today he was commenting, looking at a sister, telling her that one or the other day, we should not fear for it. We have to go to fire. We have to be in fire. Let us be in fire today itself for the sake of this country. Tell me one leader in this country who has shown this commitment, who has shown solidarity. He walked the streets of this country from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. In Karnataka, he was for 24 days. Wherever he walked from the streets of here, my friend Jayachandra is there, some of the legislators are here. Whichever constituency he covered, all the constituency, Congress party won their seat, and we are here in power today. That is the strength he gave to this country. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I wholeheartedly thank the chairman of the legal department, Mr. Abhishek Singhvi, who is trying to give a new shape. But the message what Rahul Gandhi gave today under his leadership is the chairman. This should be inflated down to the assembly level. Your committee should be head there. These types of discussion should be there. In every booth, a voter list has to be looked at. Every worker has to be taken care. All sections should be protected. Then only the Congress party can come to power. India bloc can come to power. This is the commitment. This is the message you have to take together. On December 26th, last year, some of you participated. We were celebrating the 100 years of Mahatma Gandhi ji taking over as the Congress president. 100 years. But unfortunately, we lost Manmohan Singh ji that day. But what was our message? Jai Bhim, Jai Bapu, Jai Samvidhan. Is it not our commitment to this country? Is it not the message what the Congress party has given? Congress party has not given to our families. That is for the country. Today we believe the basic ideology of every leader who have been stood on those days. I am very proud today, such a big gathering, educated luminaries who have been fighting for the cause of the common man, protecting, having a legal big strength. You are here and using. We are not only mere to talk about the constitution, but to confront the uncomfortable truth that the very document which binds our democracy is being frayed. Not by foreign forces alone, but those entrusted with the stewardship of this country today. Congress believes that the Constitution is a vehicle of life and not just a legal document, as Baba Saheb Ambedkar warned us. He also warned that the effectiveness of this Constitution rules on the people of implementing it after the Constitution was being delivered. He said, it is when you implement it, it has to be, that has to be learned. The spirit of the Constitution lies its principle of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Today we are seeing liberty being replaced with subjudiction, equality with inequality, and fraternity with hostility. This is exactly what Dr. Ambedkar has warned. It is all coming true that the Constitution is constantly under attack. The attempt to subvert our secret document is not even concluded anymore. It is being done on the broad light. There are open and public calls to the border that the spirit of this Constitution. We look at the state of affairs today, it is very clear that 3 core principles of our Constitution, liberty, equality, and fraternity, all are threat. Let us all look at them one by one to save it. As I said about the sacrifice of the Gandhi family, we have to continue it. For whom? Not for themselves. It is for us, it is for you, and it is for the country. As a loyal congressman, the message today, what Rahul ji, Mallikarjun Kharge ji gave today. Today, we should take this forward. It is your responsibility. Let us all join together on this issue again. This commitment, what has gone, what message has gone. All the leaders who are the chairmen of the legal fraternity who has come here, working under Abhishek Singhvi, should take to your states, to take to the districts, and take to the assembly level. Then only this big event which has taken place will have a meaningful, and that we should be you should give a proper timeline for this. Abhishek sir, you should give a timeline. Without giving a timeline, only coming here, meeting here, hurting us will not help us. Ultimately, the message has to go and protect the voters. So that commitment and values to protecting our nation from the forces and to alter the social fabric of this country. As a loyal congressman, my heart swells with pride to see this enormous contribution of my party in firstly gaining India its freedom, then after giving the greatest document on the history of mankind, Constitution of India as the past 75 years, protecting the spirit of for citizen bathing and the hair of the freedom of both thought and expression. It is really very absolute honor to me to be here. Though Abhishek said, DK, you can take any time you want. But I think you have heard a lot, you have discussed, you have to take homework. Anyway, I am so happy to be a part of this great event. Let us once again, whenever we get an opportunity, we should utilize to save our party. Without saving our party, you can't save this country. Without saving the country, you can't save the common man. Anyway, I would like to congratulate Abhishek and his entire team for organizing and all my friends for coming to this event. Thank you, thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Congress. No one can out. There is a national anthem.
I request all of you to please rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे